Good afternoon on behalf of EMCC Romania. My name is Anna Marin and I will be your introducer for today. There is not such a word in English, but let me introduce you to the amazing team of MOZAIC who will offer you a journey through mentoring, some hard times, some good times, some experiences, but it will be a learning journey. So our aim for the session today is about sharing experiences and good practices that might be useful for EMCC affiliated countries, for organizations, for professionals, anyone who is interested in developing reciprocal mentoring programs. We will promote the program among Romanians who are members of EMCC Global around the world and towards professionals who are interested in learning exchange with the Romanian colleagues. We will use technology, and you will see that sometimes will not be our friend, but we are hanging in there. We will using technology today to overcome language barriers and create a cross-cultural exchange opportunity. So you will see that the EMCC Romania team of MOZAIC has the same background as Nicola. You will be easy to recognize us by that. And we will create a space where you can ask questions. Please feel free to use the chat and I will gather them and we will have a special slot at the end of the session to answer them. Remember to stay after the session because we will have some networking part of the event. So you will get the chance to ask us more questions or just to get to know us. And you will see that we are a very friendly people. And maybe you know about Romania a bit, like Nadia Comaneci, Vlad Țepeș or Vlad the Impaler, and Hagi if you are a football fan. Other than that, let me introduce you to my famous colleagues. Alina Avarvarei is connecting with us from Netherlands, and she's the project lead of MOZAIC. Karina Mircea, she's connecting from Romania. She's a team member of MOZAIC. Gabriela Dura, also connecting from Romania, team member of MOZAIC. Adriana Vasilache, she's connecting from Finland. She's platform and technology for MOZAIC. Florin Lohan, he's connecting from Finland, and he's our platform wizard. Vlad Dutescu, he's connecting from Romania. He's the sponsor of the program and local president of EMCC Romania. And I'm Anna, I'm connecting from Romania. And this is our team. And I'm handling the virtual floor to Vlad to tell us a bit about the perspective of the sponsor.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you very much, Nicole. I am glad to see so many of you present to this event. And I want also to say salute to all MOZAIC members who are also part of these meetings, and probably they will help us and provide some first-hand experience sharing with you. At first, we want to concentrate on the context that brought us to MOZAIC. In the last 5 years, EMCC Romania faced an accelerated growth on membership number, on accreditation, on partners. We also realized that we have quite interesting and broad diversity on many dimensions. And we thought from a strategic point of view, together with the board, about the best way to help and develop what is in our organization using our tools. What we know best, it's mentoring and mentoring program. And also, MOZAIC is very important for us because we expect continuous growth in the next 3 years. and we want to focus on members' engagement, diversity, inclusion, and belonging. So this is the organizational context. And of course, for a good program, we thought about individual context. And we started with a survey run through 100 members, and 70% of them was favorable for a mentoring program. And our very nice surprise was that 90% of them was pro a reciprocal approach, which means that they assume both mentors and mentee roles. At this moment in MOZAIC, we have 39 mentors, 47 mentees, and 65 networkers. When we think about individual context and the benefits for our members and participants in MOZAIC, we consider that some of the things that are valuable for them, it's creating a psychological safety and an trusting environment, creating professional friendship and cross-cultural opportunities, to be an opportunity for both professional and personal development, and to provide for our members functional and emotional support, as well as creating individual 5 years developmental plan for career growth. So this was the individual context. And based on how we evolve with the presentation, I encourage you to put comments and questions in chat, and Anna will take them, and we'll stop from time to time to be able to respond to any of the question or observation. So besides the individual context and organizational context, we also consider the wider context. And as you know, mentoring is kind of rising star, and there are a lot of mentoring programs around the world provided by many organizations in many forms. Also, there is most of the time about mentoring programs for specific organizations, for specific fields, like you can find in EMCC a very interesting study case about pilots in New Zealand, or about physicians and nurses in Médecins Sans Frontières, about countries, or about specific areas, like there are several mentoring programs designed for women, like the one which is for Blair Foundation, or the one which is for PWN. And I mention here only mentoring programs that somehow they are coming across with EMCC network. However, we are looking also to other two dimensions, and one is about migration impact around the world and inside Europe. And looking specific for Romania, we realize that there are about 20% people born in Romania who are living outside the country. So this is a wider context, and maybe you can comment in the chat. What do you think about the benefit from a reciprocal mentoring program across the world, with people from the same nation, speaking the same language, and having the same cultural heritage? at least from our perspective, probably it's the single program of this kind, or maybe there are few of them, but we are not aware of them. So if you know such other programs, we'll be glad to learn about them. So we provided you with organizational context, with individual context, and with wider context, because we consider when we put the program to have it in our mind all the factors that can impact what we want to do. And of course, we start to put the program together. And I think I will invite Alina, who becomes a project leader, and she will go with you about how she see the development of the program and the setup and design of the program. Alina?
Yes, thank you very much, Vlad, for setting up the scene and the context. And also thank you very much for actually initiating this journey for us, because you're the one who brought us together, and actually you're the one who decided who to invite for this program, because in our growing tribe, as I say, of EMCC Romania, and there was some thoughts behind it in terms of who would have the skills, and he had a good hand, because I would say that we come together very nicely. Although, as you heard, I am based in Netherlands, and two of our project members are in Finland, and then the rest are in Bucharest. We are all united in our passion about mentoring. And this is how we started, actually. We got together, we had an idea, or our sponsor had an idea. And then you see listed a numerous challenges that, let's say, we came across, and there were like bridges, that you needed to traverse until the present moment. So we started in May last year. And in that, we didn't have necessarily a clear timeline. I'm just saying this because, in case you think that at the beginning you know exactly where you want to be and when to start, that was not the case. So everything was really unfolding, so to speak. And I would say we use the principle, not really of agile, but rather more like design thinking. And what we agreed was that we're going to design this plane as we're flying. And I think some of the voices there were like, okay, let's start small. Let's start with a sketch. And after that, we're just going to have iteration, and we're going to see what is working and what not. And because this is a program from EMCC Romania members to EMCC Romania members, and most of us, we are aware of the competencies and everything, I said we can co-create, so we can do this because we don't need to explain the concept. So what we have, the first challenge was getting together the team, right? So about a program. We had and actually I want to give honor and thanks to two of our colleagues who are not here, but they started and they indicated that they joined us into the beginning when we brainstormed into the design, and after that they couldn't offer their time because everything is based on volunteer, right? So we're all volunteers here, but they really helped us in the conceptual and structural design. And that was Adina Tari. She really stayed with us while we brainstormed and prepared that survey that Vlad was discussing about, and Christina Mule, who actually has an accreditation about on mentoring programs, and she actually helped us in the stage of the design, and we will talk about it a little bit later in the presentation. Then we said something, you know, with a visual. We had many conversation, and I think what helped the most was actually anchoring time in our calendar. And really, we've done that like for 3-4 months, and then we committed the time, we showed up, and we took steps. And as you said, as you see here, it was there were a number of decisions to be made. And of course, the sponsor was with us, which was Vlad. And it was like, is it going to be an organizational program, or are we just aiming to pair up people? You know, so what is the aim? What is the purpose of this? And then we discussed and debated, and we heard all voices. The team is working with, I would say, with participative leadership, into which we all hear, all voices are included, everybody is seen, and we do not move forward until this is being addressed or considered in some shape or form. And we decided it's going to be together an organizational program. And then it was about, okay, but is it going to be, how are we going to do the matching? Because when we brought ourselves different types of experiences, each of us had experiences in mentoring programs. Some were manual, some were hybrid, some were like automatic. And then we looked and we heard all voices, plus and minuses, what is true. And we decided that it's going to be helping us to have, well, we hybrid matching, actually, we ended up, because while we have the platform, we said that we really want to have the human touch from the manual. So while not having a full manual matching, we have combined the two. So we said, let's the platform or the algorithm decide the matching, but we are going to refine it, because our community, it is possible, because our tribe is not that big, right? So we didn't talk about thousands of people. That allowed us to work with this. And then, as you see, then in an organization full of mentors, because, hey, it's the tribe, right? So it's coaches and mentors in EMCC who will be the mentees. Therefore, we kind of came to the conclusion that in order to make it, and it was really helpful to have the guidance of the definition about what is a reciprocal mentoring program. What is the difference? Because, you know, there's different types of mentoring. And when we look at that, we took quite early the decision that in this program, you can join as a mentee, but if you want to join as a mentor, you need to be a mentee as well. So you are not coming only to be a mentor. So we don't end up only with mentors. You actually need to be willing to evaluate, reflect, what is it that you want to grow into? So you have something to give in terms of knowledge and expertise, but what do you want to grow? So that will also ensure the continuous professional development for which this program is actually supporting too. Challenge number 6, time constraints. Of course, we're all working, right? So as I said, this is a volunteer program. And what helped was to have like a WhatsApp group, you know, and to agree to be very, very flexible and to say what we can do or we cannot do. But as I said, what helped really was to look and anchor meetings in a span of 2-3 months. For instance, if during the summer vacation, we knew who can, when, what, and then we showed up as many as we were, and we tried to push the cheese a little bit by little bit. So this is how we address the time constraints. We started small. And then, yeah, we managed the expectation, I think, of the sponsor. Our sponsor, I have to say, we have a very, very generous, creative, generative of ideas sponsor. From time to time, we need to say no. And also to say, no, we need to focus on this. And also manage complexity, right? So we said, okay, what is it that we can achieve? We even negotiated, when is this program going to start? And I remember our sponsor saying, let's aim for September. And then we looked at each other and I said, I think more realistic is going to be more like November. and we made it happen until November, and we're, of course, very happy about that. And as you see, challenge number 7 is building the plane while you're flying with full speed, which up to now, I have to say, it worked really well, in the sense that we managed to overcome all of the bridges and challenges. However, occasionally we do drop balls, and then we show up, like last night, we had a group reflection meeting, and we had to honor, or recognize in front of all our new networkers who joined the last session of networking, saying that we can do a better onboarding and give you more information. And this is what's happening. It's we address this with really transparency, I think warmth, and vulnerability. So as you see here, we ended up with a bit atypical. So it doesn't start in January, right? It starts in November. And then it was a bit of a decision, well, should we make the rounds? We called it a round, from the moment that you start. We also check this in the survey, how long should the relationship should be? And we heard the voices of our colleagues as well, so ended up having a relationship of mentoring that will be for 5 months. So as you can see, within a span of 12 months, we have 2 rounds of mentoring of 5 months, and then we need those months of break in which we are going to prepare for the next round, because we decided that we want to test every round other work hypotheses. What does that mean? That we have maybe, you can walk me through the next slide, Vlad. So this is showing, yes. So we have one working hypothesis. So in round 1, we have 2 tracks, right? So we have the mentoring and the networking. The networking is allowing for people to join every month. You get new joiners along the way, and they are invited to meet minimal 1 time in a month. And there is a feedback based on a feedback at the end of the month or the networking period. They're invited to give feedback, whether they met and how was it. And then the mentoring track runs for 5 months. However, as you can see here, we had the registration point, we've done the matching, then we started with the onboarding, which was in 2 live sessions. We've recorded onboarding and shared it. Onboarding is a must within the program. And then you should have had the first session in the month of November, provide feedback. And here on the feedback, we also saw if there was a rematching needed for the mentoring part. And after that, after we calibrated like this, starting with the 2nd month, the mentoring relationship are just occurring, and then the networking, as I said, it's every month. And what you see here, you see also a group reflection. So we set to come together with everyone, mentor, mentees, and networkers to reflect. And we are reflecting on 2 things. One is the reflection, a reflexive practice that it is even within EMCC on how the relationship or the relationships, what did they bring? And then we have a second bit, which is the feedback towards the program, the team, on the system, on the communication, on the process. So this is where we calibrate. And then we have a group, 2 group supervision for the mentors. So at least this round, we decided to open it up only for mentors, and we can give you more details, but this is the journey for the first round. As you can see, we're flying now. Yeah, so we haven't finished it. It's going to finish in March, and we're still tweaking things because we just had last night the group reflection and we took feedback, and now we're going to tweak things in and see how it's going to work. And then at the end, there's going to be feedback that we want to send, which is going to be like a survey. And that is, again, going to be on relationship, but also on the program. Now, this is kind of the journey of the program, and I'm going to give it back to Vlad because Vlad is holding the timeline and he knows best who's going to take it next. So, Vlad, back to you. And who are you giving the talking stick, so to speak?
Now it's the time to talk a bit more about the reciprocal mentoring program, and I invite Alina to tell you more about this track.
Sure, Vlad, thank you. And thank you, Alina, for the beautiful sum up of what we've been going through over the past 5, 6, I don't even want to count like how long we've started at this, and the challenges, but also the successes. We are to think your presentation of this could be done in just a few minutes. And yeah, so this is basically a summary of the program that we've ended up creating and some of the thought that went behind it. So for this 1 year, we looked at having 2 rounds of reciprocal mentoring. And the first point is actually a key point. Vlad mentioned it in the context. Alina mentioned it again. It was very important for us that participants are both mentors and mentees. So this is a reciprocal mentoring program, not in the sense that, because like some people, when we first talked about it, imagined in the same relationship, you would be both a mentor and a mentee and just take turns. We do have distinct relationships, like you can be mentor to some people and you can be a mentee for some other people. So they're distinct relationships, but it's very important in the program that you are both a mentor and a mentee. Or you can only sign up to be a mentee if you want to do that. And the intention behind that is to build that that mentee capability so that you learn how to be a mentee as well. There's, I think, in the States, there's a reality TV show that makes their trainers gain weight and lose it before they can actually go on the show. Because you cannot train somebody on how to lose weight unless you've struggled with that as well. So that should definitely help this community. And then we are going, as Alina said, we have an onboarding session that is, we're making it compulsory. We're strongly encouraging people. It's a condition, basically, to be able to join the program. And we do that because first, there's some technicalities. You need to learn a bit about the platform. You need to be able to sign up. There's questions that you might have. It's not necessarily, it's a fairly complex program, so you need to kind of know what you're signing up for and be able to understand the time that you need to give to it. And but also because we want to invite people to manage their own expectations and to enter in this program with an open mind, an open heart, and an open will, and make the most of this program. So this session usually aims to do both. We offer an EQA mentoring program as well, but that is optional. So some of our mentors have chosen to go through it. Some of them have not. We do rematching as well after the first session, if it's requested by the pair's feedback. So within a month, people are expected or encouraged to meet with their pair, with their mentor or mentee, and then share feedback with us. And that, and also when they share that feedback, they have the option of asking for rematching. And that triggers our own process in the back end where we go through a rematching session with everyone who's been, kind of like asked for to be rematched. And the reason we do that, we do encourage people during our onboarding and every time we speak with them to give a chance to everyone that they meet, to lower their expectations. It is a matching kind of a program. It's not the kind of mentor that you might get, like in a Bruce Lee movie. It's going to be like the guy that's going to solve all of your problems. But there is definitely an opportunity to learn somebody from another person. So we're encouraging people to give their best chance to somebody. I do see a question in the chat. So what is EQA mentoring program? Maybe Vlad, you want to take that, or Anna?
I can take that. So all the accredited training programs from EMCC for coaching and mentoring, they are called EQA programs. So EQA mentoring program, it's actually is a training for foundation level as a mentor. And this was provided optional for the participants who has no accreditation as mentors and coaching, and who had no much knowledge about mentoring, and they used to be mostly coaches.
Yeah, but we do, so going back to rematching, we still have this option because sometimes people still sign up in the program and then they turn out to be unavailable. Or sometimes there can be any sort of a situation where there is really low chemistry or even some really unwanted behavior. So we want to make it safe enough for participants to be able to rematch. So we offer that. We, of course, let participants know that in case their mentors or mentees get lost along the way, to let us know. And if possible, we'll try to do a rematch as well if there is enough people to do that with, like a bit more ad hoc. So the rounds have 5 months, as Alina showed you, where we encourage people to have at least 5 sessions, which means once a month. Of course, some people choose to have more, some people choose to have less. They space them out based on their own time. This is our invitation. We're not controlling that in any way. They can handle that themselves. We offer group supervision for all members, and you've seen the timeline of how the program looks like that Alina shared with you. It does pose a specific challenge that Vlad had to work through. When you have common supervision sessions, we do offer 2 options, but having virtual supervision sessions for people who are both mentors and mentees in a program, so in a reciprocal mentoring program, the challenge is how do you make sure you don't have the same pair in the same supervision group so that they can actually be open to share things that they're going through. And Vlad actually manually wizarded the whole thing so that mentors don't end up in the same group with mentees, and they can actually be able to with their own mentees, so they can get the most value out of the session. We took midterm feedback, so in the middle of the round, like Alina said, we've done that during the supervision session, during the reflection session that we have just had, and we're including that as much as we can. Like, we get obviously different types of feedback. Some of it is implementable right now, some of it is great for the next round, some of it is amazing for when the plane turns into a spaceship, as Vlad likes to say, but it's like definitely not this year. And some of it is just basically something that a Q&A document we've just worked on is going to answer. So sometimes we get feedback that's obviously about people having misread some information or not having the information available, but that's still good feedback because it helps us keep our materials updated, improve our communication, and just do a better job of sharing what we need to share. And we also will have an end of round feedback, which would be like a way for people to reflect and share their experience on the whole process, because some people have said it's a bit early to give really consistent feedback. They're enjoying the program right now, but after a full round, once you've gone through all the phases of this round, you might have something meatier to share. And
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alina. Any other last minute ideas? Because I know that you will share some more later on.
Thank you, Alina. Thank you very much for your sharing and for opening the path for me. I'm going to tell you more about the networking series. So the MOZAIC program, as Vlad mentioned, has 2 branches. One is the mentoring part, and the other one is the networking part. Who can join us for networking? Absolutely everyone in EMCC Romania. We organize. Actually, this program is meant to help them meet a new partner every month. We suggest to have a meeting between 30 and 60 minutes based on their availability. And what is very, very important for this is that you might think at networking in a selling manner. Maybe you think you would like to do some networking because you want to sell something to somebody. The idea here is not about selling. It's about creating and facilitating a safe space where our members have opportunity to get to know each other better. And actually, this is the biggest objective of the MOZAIC program. These networking sessions, these rounds, give everyone the opportunity to meet the colleagues, get to know the community, feel a sense of belonging, warmth, and it's very much about inspiring each other, like sharing books we read, courses we attended, life experiences, and any other valuable experiences that we can share with our colleagues. Also, what I would like to stress here is about this objective to meet as much colleagues as we can, and when we meet them, actually, why we do this, because it's an opportunity for us to practice presence, listening skills, developing our cultural intelligence. Our program is also very, very, let's say, not quite strict, but I would say strict about feedback, because at the end of each session, we ask feedback from our networking partners. This is a kind of helping them practicing their skills in giving feedback to others and grow in this area, but also we want to make sure that the participants are active in the program. This is how we understand it. They're active and not just applying and forgetting about it. What I would also like about the team, and how Alina mentioned already, Kalina is our wizard in terms of design with all the materials we prepare for our participants. We continually develop and offer material support to help all the attendants navigate through the complexity of this program. We want them to keep the pace and don't want to feel overwhelmed. Also, how I already mentioned, it's very much about creating a safe space where you can meet someone, you can talk to someone who is in this field of coaching and mentoring, and maybe already had a life experience that would be inspiring for yourself. Okay, this is actually a huge opportunity to help everybody, especially new colleagues who are new in the field, also meet new people in the field who can inspire them, but also meet a community where they can practice. I would add in the end about this networking part that it's very much about creating space where we can learn from each other and constantly grow. Thank you. Thank you. I would pass it next.
Yes, Thank you. Thank you, Alina, Kalina, and Gabriela for bringing the presentation of our MOZAIC mentoring and networking program until here. So you have seen so far quite a lot about the what it is and what it gives to the participants. Let's focus a bit on the how, or maybe one part of the how, and I will focus here on the software platform, because yes, it has a software platform that helps both the participants and the organizers of the program to have a smooth experience in the program. And this platform, for which you can see on the welcome page on the screen, this platform has actually been and is still used, and we have created it and has been used for the last 4 years in Toastmasters International. So it was initially created for an international organization with people from various geographical and professional backgrounds, but who had common interests in public speaking and leadership. And from there, we took this idea of the platform and part of what it's doing and tried, and I think, and I know we succeeded so far, to adjust it for the EMCC Romania community. So a community, a professional association of mainly mentors and coaches. And we created it together, like you will see, both mentors, coaches, and IT professionals. We brought this platform to an even better life. And you see here the flavors of our multidisciplinary team. But what you see in addition is that by the combined efforts of, well, our combined efforts, the people that you see now in blue, most of us in blue on the screen. So we have managed to bring the program to obey to be developed under the ISMCP framework. And all the details of this framework will be later presented more in detail. But what could I say? I'm a bit with, I would say, the legs in both boats, both IT professional and coaching. And from my personal experience, building this program together has been a joy. And well, maybe not all the time. Of course, you know that how teams are going, but we have managed to put together these pieces of the puzzle, as you see on the screen, and we have built a shining mosaic, I hope. And at this point, I will give the word to Vlad, who will start detailing the pieces of the ISMSP framework.
As Adriana said, what we have done was to look at the context, find a way to design what we intend, keeping in mind the EMCC global framework for international standards of mentoring and coaching programs, which are quite relevant if you want to realize a very solid program. And we'll go through several of these standards in order to provide you the clear picture of how we work against them or together with them. And the first standard is about clarity of the purpose. And we went from a longer list of intentions and objectives for the program. And as Alina mentioned earlier, we decided to keep the list for the moment as minimum as possible in order to be easier to achieve them and to keep the pace. And actually, we have a broader purpose, which is to recognize and use individual capabilities within our organizations in order to grow collective capacities and achieve operational excellence. Based on this, we have two clear objectives. One is to support personal and professional development of EMCC members, EMCC Romania members. And the second one is based on this program to facilitate a safe space where members can get to know each other better and learn from each other. So this purpose and our objectives are well communicated among all the stakeholders, and part of our stakeholders are you, and your presence here is important and relevant for us. And regarding the outcome, we are looking on increasing belongingness, increasing engagement, increasing retention, increasing capabilities, and be attractive for new members. So this is the first standard, clarity of the purpose, and Alina will tell you about the second standard.
Right. Thank you, Vlad. So indeed, I hope with this, with the slide that Vlad presented, we also answer Christina's question, because there was a question in the chat. So I hope that is clear. And if there are other questions, please let us know. Indeed, what we have noticed, just to make the connection, was that you have a tribe that is growing, right? A professional tribe. We are all connected, let's say, via WhatsApp or Slack, but we are literally, I mean, we're just names. We're not people until we actually get to know each other. And to add to that purpose, that is the purpose, to kind of have a schedule or bring us together so we know what are we good at, where do we shine, you know, and actually put a person next to a name. So in the stakeholder, as you can say, training and briefing, so communication is the key. We are actually like bringing a new product, and then you are considering, well, change management and transition management. So we're very much aware. A lot of us are, besides being a coach and mentors, we're also psychologists or trainers. And we said, well, I mean, we should walk the talk, right? And meaning that we should actually use some of the things that we know. So that's why we have a constant communication, I would say, at every step of the way to inform the community, because we're doing this for the community. And of course, having Vlad has two hats. He is the sponsor, but he's also a member, a team member in the program and project. Therefore, he can carry constantly the messages fully updated next to Anna as well, because they are both in the board. So then when we looked at the stakeholder map, you know, how do we keep informed the organization or, you know, the board, but also the members who are a part of they are the main stakeholder. And then obviously what we did with the ISMCP framework, we have it laid off in a Miro board, and every time we did a step or we considered what should we do next or how to design, we went back to that board and we said, how are we going to are we answering these questions, you know, that are being addressed? So for instance, that's why we have the EQA Foundation program, because in the framework it is said that you should give training. So how do we level the knowledge in a way of the people that are here? Because yes, there are members in the EMCC, but membership in EMCC, it does not come with a condition that you are actually accredited or to a certain level. Then we, in our transparency, as I said, we had the onboarding live. So besides the communication, you know, of the dates and everything, we made it clear right from the bat that in order for you to be able to join, you need to complete onboarding. And we actually kept track of the onboarding. So we offer 2 different dates, different hours. So to be able to actually cover it for as many people possible, we sent the dates in advance so people can anchor it in their agenda. And then we recorded the session and we provided to the people, and we actually followed up with the people who registered in the program to make sure that they have completed. And we actually asked them a question, you know, so to see that if they actually watched the recording, which was about processing information. Next to it, we started to write a guide. So we saw that we started to generate a lot of ideas. So like what are our definition? We felt the need a bit like a glossary. What are the rules? And we put everything and compiled it in a guide, which is, as is written here, already on the 2nd edition. We have updated it and we continue to update. We have the frequently asked question. We started to receive them, and that is a live document, and we decided to put it in the guide, but also to keep it apart because it's easier to share. I mean, our guide, we were surprised, but I mean, we just started very small with a couple of pages, and then we started to clarify and add to it, also with having the framework in mind. What is it that we need to put in there to create clarity? Also, we do the entire program with business continuity in mind. I'm coming from an HR background. That was something that was quite important, you know, if you have key positions or things like that. This is all about the team or the program, and then how do we ensure that this program actually does not stay in one person, but it's actually alive and continuous, because hey, we're all volunteers and one of us can, you know, step aside, and then this thing is continuing further. So then you need guide, you need to capture all of this somewhere, and therefore you have the guide, the frequently asked questions, and all of this information, which are quite important. Now, monthly news and reporting. Yes, I think that Vlad does that a wonderful job. He keeps us all informed. We have like about 3 channels. There's the email, there's the WhatsApp, there's the Slack. And he looks regularly on the reporting, and him, as I said, being with one foot in the project and another being the sponsor, he's able to have firsthand information. And then yeah, we also put the supervision for mentors, because when we look at the framework, that and this space of reflection that you bring, these were elements in the framework. And while we didn't, I mean, we said to Vlad, I mean, we are very, you know, ambitious and we want this accredited, but remember, it's design thinking. So I told Vlad, I think it will be, if we aim to deliver everything 100% from the start, we might not be able. Therefore, I said, let's have a trial of 1 year, that therefore 2 rounds, and where we test off. And maybe after that, we can go and consider to apply for an accreditation after we tested and tested and tested. But we keep the framework in mind so that we refine until we feel like, yes, and now we are ready to go for an accreditation. So I would say that would be in a nutshell. And then I'm giving it back to Vlad with the timeline. Vlad, or to Anna. So who is going to take it over in the next step?
Thank you, Alina. We have a couple of questions in the chat. First of all, in reverse order, it's from Julie. And because we are an organization based on skilled mentors and coaches. Our onboarding was with focus on the process and the rules of engagement, and everything is needed for reciprocal mentoring and for networking track. And for those who consider themselves not enough ready to be mentors, they was provided with Foundation EQI mentoring program. And based on this, our onboarding session was 1.5 hours, and we provided all the participants with 36 pages. I'm not sure. Kalina is know exactly the number of pages for our program guide. And based on the questions coming from participants, we provided them with an FAQ supplement in order to answer all the questions. So because everybody is skilled, we didn't need a longer onboarding, and we check the quality of the relationships based on the feedback from participants, and we continue to check that through supervision, group supervision, and through group reflection in order to assure that everything is at the highest quality possible. And as Alina mentioned, we just had yesterday evening the group reflections, and we get mostly two important feedbacks. One is that everything is very structured, and most of our participants are also participants in other mentoring programs. And comparing with them, they said it's clear that it's very structured, very clear, and very professional program. And also, we have a question from Frank. We are thinking about opening for other countries. We have this challenge with Romania because we have few members who are living in Romania but are not Romanian speakers. The challenge is that we want to have the platform translated in order to not face the challenges of not having everything understanding well in other language. And from Stacy, we have another question. Yeah, indeed, networking, as Gabriela said, it was a challenging because in many models in mentoring, it's speaking about networking. Even in definition of EMCC Global, it's mentioning networking as a good way of supporting professional and personal development. But we provided participants with clear instruction about what is networking in our acception, and is not what it's usually networking, meaning something related to sales. It's more about developing their skills, listening skills at the level of helping the other to understand themselves, and listening with no special intention. And probably many of you know about this level of listening from David Clutterbuck. And I hope I answered all the questions. And now it's time to go to standard number 3 and invite Florin to talk about matching.
Yes, thank you, Florin. This is my slide.
Sorry.
Okay. I will introduce Florin later on to give us a more technical approach and what about getting the touch of EI. But until then, I will tell you a few things about the process selection and how we proceeded with doing this matching. It was a challenge for us. I can tell you myself that I had the experience of doing the matching in another project for 20 people or so, and it was a mess. But here we had the technical part very, very structured by Florin, and you will hear about all this later on from him. The idea is that what we aim to reach is a minimum of 50% of the members of EMCC Romania, but we also wish that the number of the members will increase. Also, I would like to say a few words about what this means in this moment. We have 77 participants. What is very important to know is that, okay, some of them have the roles of a mentor only, mentee only, and as Vlad mentioned before, there are more mentees than mentors because this is a safe space for new members of EMCC to train their skills, and they start in our MOZAIC program as mentees, and then when they feel trusted enough and strong enough, I'm sure they will also be mentors in our program. What would be also interesting to mention is that we do a hybrid in this moment because we do the initial matching in an automate way, but then when we after the first meeting we collect the feedback and they have a chance to say if they didn't match with their pair. I'm talking here about the mentor-mentee pair, and they have a chance to get another partner. In networking, they only have their partner once, and then they switch to another one. But they can continue visit themselves, doing things together. So this one meeting is only the start of maybe a bit of a friendship or whatever can be. Would you please help me with the next slide, Vlad?
Yes.
Thank you. More about this selection matching, I would invite Florin to tell you, but from this slide a few words, only that we considered a lot of, actually there were 30 slots of abilities that we considered, and matching was also about having a language in common because we have members who are members of EMCC Romania, but they don't speak Romanian. They come from different countries, so we also had to consider the time zone and the availability to meet. Also, I will introduce this zodiac thing to you because it took some time to consider if we go on this or not, and we finally agreed to take in some percent, in 25%, and it seemed that it was a really impressive match because as Vlad mentioned, we had just yesterday the reflection session, and I got some amazing feedback there. some of one of our colleagues said that she felt like she had a chance to ask for what she needed, and she got exactly what she asked for, and this was brilliant. And words like brilliant, incredible, and things like this. I would say that this is the magic of done actually by Florin, and I would invite him to take it to the next step. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriela. So one thing that we want to use next is to study and research AI-based compatibility. So maybe we are going to replace this Zodiac compatibility with something which would be a bit more scientific. Next slide, please. So how can we do this? We can ask mentees several questions. For example, what are your values? How your friends would describe you? And they would give some questions. And we would then, well, or before, ask the mentors the same questions or something very similar. And then we would ask an AI, a large language model, such as ChatGPT, to make a grading between each mentee and all the mentors. So then, based on this, we can select what are good mentors for that mentee. And we can integrate this into our matching algorithm. The same idea could be used in choosing a coach. So if a client is looking for a coach, we have two types of criteria, basically. So if we are looking at the right part of the slide, the client could choose something that would filter out some of the available coaches. For example, it should be a business coach, and it should be a woman, and it should be available on Sundays, because that's when I can have this coaching. And it should be native in my language and the price range. And after we have a list of coaches that matches these criteria, then we can use AI in a similar fashion to find out which is the best coach for that person. And the idea is the same. We ask the coaches to fill in, to answer some questions, and we ask the client to answer the same questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Florin. I will invite Adriana to talk us a little bit more about the standards for and how we look at the way that pairs are working.
Yes, thank you, Vlad. And getting well, more specifically in a way back to that software platform that I was talking about previously. So it is used both for the registration of the participants and then by the organizers to communicate with the participants, but also understand better how the entire process is going. And with this in mind, as an organizer, we can see from the platform a couple of measures. For instance, we can see the number of participants, the growth, absolute and relative growth, the how many times the people have met, or the pairs have met, both in mentoring and networking, how many times or how many people are continuing from one period to another, how many countries, or from how many countries we have participants in the process. At the moment, we have people from 12 countries and a total of 7 languages. We can also see what is the skills coverage, because people are inputting the skills that they can mentor on, or they want to be mentored, and we can see the balance between the demand and the offer on each of these skills. We can also have statistics on the feedback that people are giving, especially if they are giving numerical feedback. It's easy to visualize how happy the participants are with the project and with the system. And what you see on the screen is actually the statistics corresponding to the pairs, so how many of them have met. And we also can have access to statistics to understand what are particular motives that particular blocks in them not meeting. So maybe they couldn't get in contact from different reasons, and we predefine these cases, and then we get more understanding by a clearer picture of what is happening with the people in the program. So this is about the numbers and how we can see the activity with the flittering numbers on the screen. And we can get now maybe to the next slide.
Yes, thank you very much, Adriana. I want only to mention two things. Probably everybody understands the complexity of the initial phase. We have 48 and now there are 47 pairs in mentoring track, and we grow from 24 to 28, and now there are 32 pairs in networking track. And it's very important for us to have all the statistics in an easy way to follow. And gathering everything, we have them also in color, and we wasn't able to put all the pictures for you, but it's a very clean way. And I think Adriana may help me. After the first round, the aggregated score of satisfaction with the program was 4.77. I remember well.
I think so, out of 5, yes.
Yeah, out of 5. And after the second month, the aggregated score was 0.496, I believe.
Yes.
Perfect. And to connect the question from Frank about people from France joining us, if I remember well, I think we have about 3 persons speaking French.
But it isn't only
We
about
have 8
language,
people.
right?
Sorry?
8 persons speaking French.
8%.
8.
But
Yeah.
you can imagine, especially if you are a French person, how is connected the things that we want to try with AI, with Florin helps, because probably some of the speakers in French are not speaking very well, and some French participants will prefer native speakers for French. And this is a high level of quality that we want to provide for our participants, to be sure that they find what they expect, and we are able to provide what we promise. So this is about processes for management and review, and couple of words about standards and high standards of ethics. We have for our team, management team, clear roles, responsibilities, and boundaries. All participants are provided with a global code of ethics, even they already signed being a member of EMCC Romania. And also we inform them with specific of some of the parts of the global code of ethics, because some of them are quite relevant for our program, and they are specific in our guide of the program. And this is about the number 5 standards. And I think Alina is ready to tell you a bit about administration and support. And the 6th standard, it's the last one.
Okay, I'm aware that we have only 10 minutes left, so it's going to be very short. And I want to thank you all. This has been a hard decision how to actually present the information, go for breakout rooms. So thank you for navigating with us to all of this presentation. So yes, when we come to administration and support, yes, I think we mentioned the supervision. We have clear roles, but as I said, there's also participative leadership. All voices are being heard. There is a methodology, so we capture everything. We use like a Google Drive. We have folders, you know, that allow us to be in collaboration. We have like a definition of everything, and actually we have a big Excel that I'm trying to capture everything that is being done, included feedback that we take, aspects that we want to consider to the next round, so that we document as much as we can. Well, and when it comes in data and protection, of course, we have the GDPR, our platform. We made sure that it's respecting all of the rules, so it's according to the GDPR rules. We communicate through the platform, so actually the members of the team, you know, we are trying as much to be under that email address, so people can find us very, very easy. But we are always aware, you know, not to share email addresses and other types of information. When it comes to risk management, as I said, we have this business continuity in mind. So all our communication, it is not based on individual. It is, we always show up as a team. And we do this because we want to give EMCC Romania, you know, the possibility to go on for as long as is needed with this program. And so for people to kind of anchor in their mind the roles rather than the individuals, and to be very open and alert and checking also, because risk management is also to lose one of the resource, like a human resource in the project. So then we're constantly looking on our availability, we're checking with each other, and we're also considering who to bring on board. And then, yes, for future developments and research, I think we're looking to see where we can, what can we use from our statistics, what are the things that we want to ask maybe in the feedback, or think along with the other members, because we realize that the beauty of doing this for EMCC Romania tribe is that we have a lot of knowledge in the tribe, and we want to bring it along. And actually, even yesterday, there were new ideas about how can this program be run differently or with different purpose for the community. And I think this covers it for the moment, because I think we've been quite extensive. And thank you everyone for your patience. And I think I want to, well, giving up a little bit, I don't know, to Anna, to Nicola a little bit, because they are our hosts, to see what we can do with the 5 minutes and maybe with the transition for the networking space.
Wonderful. Let me jump in, and can I just thank you so much. You've shared so much of your learning and of the policies that you have and the protocols you have, some of the challenges and some of the just the way you've overcome various different things, and just the strength of feeling and how you've brought everybody in the conversation. And it's just amazing what you've been doing there. It's just phenomenal, and you are so generous in sharing your experiences and your case study, this showcase of what you've been doing. So before we go any further, can I just say thank you very much for everything that you've shared with us today and continue to share with making such an impact on people. Thank you. I know that we've been sorting out some questions as we've been going, but I just wondered if you think about it, back on it now, Alina, what kind of message yourself, what kind of learning do you yourself take from your experience of this? What's impacted you most?
If you bring your passion and you meet other people that are as passionate as you aim for collaboration, you bring your humor and compassion, you can cross any bridge. What I'm taking out of it, I think every time I work on this program, I am energized, but I'm energized because by the team, by the people that we work, and the manner in which we supported each other, because you can imagine that along a number of months, there were moments when each of us were sick, and couldn't deliver something and everything. And the fact to see, if like me, I'm in a different country, where there's another language. So when I stepped into being in my own practice, I was looking to belong to something. And I think this is honoring the intention of EMCC in a way, and as a professional, but as like individual contributor with the practice, I feel I can belong to this tribe, but also I can belong to the project team. So I think this is, I'm not sure about the rest of the participants of the MOZAIC, but this is our intention and energy that we are carrying every time we meet them. And I was so happy to hear from the participants that they feel the warmth, they feel that they are welcome in their humanity. There's so many knowledge sharing and things like that, we all have it, but this is a place with humans. And I think this is what I'm taking out of it.
Thank you so much, Alina. Thank you. We build this session as being in Romanian, and we had a bit of a practice before all the participants joined. We thought, do you know what? I don't think Zoom's going to be as quick for us as we'd like it to be. But I'd still like to have a go. I'd still like to have a bit of a trailblazing with the people here. Is everybody comfortable to have a bit of an experiment with us? I can see nods. Brilliant, fantastic. So speaking caption is your language. The caption language is the language you'd like to read it in.
There is a slider there, so you need to make it sure that it's blue. If
Perfect.
it's blue, that it means it's on.
Yeah, enable translation. Thank you for that. Yeah, it doesn't show on my one. I think it's probably because I'm host. But yes, there's a slider. Make sure that it's blue. So this should mean that we can all speak our own languages, and everybody else should be able to read it in the language that they'd like to read it in. So can I have a volunteer from the audience to ask a question or to say something?
Cineva care poate nu vorbește românește?
Până se hotărăște cineva, aș vrea să le salut pe colegele noastre, în ordinea în care le văd pe ecran: Carmen Grigore, Adina Tari, Mihaela Pătrânca, Alina Mărginean, Laura Gabriela Mogoi este tot din România și poate cineva din program vrea să spună despre experiență.
Folosiți scena virtuală. E nevoie doar să vă deblocați microfonul, să ne spuneți cum a fost pentru voi.
Și sigur o să vreau să verificăm împreună cu Frank și cum funcționează din franceză în română și din română în franceză, pentru că sunt două latine.
Franck, s'il vous plaît, parlez français avec nous.
Je suis très heureux du travail que vous avez fait et de la manière avec laquelle vous l'avez présenté. Et j'espère pouvoir en apprendre un peu plus sur le programme de mentoring. Bravo.
Oh, c'est notre plaisir. Merci beaucoup, Franck. Oh, so my translation says that I've been aggressive with Frank. Even though I'm speaking in French.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
no.
Pentru că ești setată să vorbești în română.
Yeah, because it's said to speak in English. So, or probably my French is that bad that even the translation machine says stop it.
Oh, I am always in awe of people who can speak more than one language, because I can just speak English and I don't always get that right. And I am so in awe of people who can move from one language to another. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and think in more than one language. For Zoom, if you can speak in more than one language, then just change your speaking language each time. So
Exact. Aveți nevoie să schimbați limba, așa cum v-a arătat deja Nicola, și limba pe care o vorbiți să fie aceea pe care o vorbiți, respectiv în cazul meu româna. Din echipa EMCC România, vrea cineva să povestească un pic despre cum a fost tura de mozaic de până acum? Nu citesc cum se traduce.
Should it be in English or in Romanian?
It's your choice, Mihaela.
Depinde cum ți-ai setat limba.
Cred că am setat în română. Se vede? Se traduce ce vorbesc?
Da, se traduce ce vorbești.
Salut tuturor! Eu sunt și membru nou în EMCC, vreau să spun, și erau câteva întrebări despre tot programul de onboarding și de pregătirea membrilor. Și vreau să spun că pentru mine a fost un program foarte valoros, atât înainte de a intra în MOZAIC, acele sesiuni de pregătire, dar și experiența din MOZAIC în sine. Și colegele cu care m-am întâlnit până acum pentru networking, precum și mentorul meu. Nu știu cum face AI acel match, însă s-a potrivit foarte bine și am aflat destul de multe lucruri noi, atât la sesiunile de networking, cât și mentoringul este ce trebuie, să spun așa. Abia aștept să preiau și rolul de mentor tura viitoare, de ce nu? Și cu siguranță vom mai face câteva sesiuni de prezentare a programului, pentru că avem colegi curioși din alte țări, nu?
Mulțumim, Mihaela.
Și curioși și interesant.
Da, cu siguranță. Mă refer că am văzut curiozitate în această sesiune și cu siguranță suntem și noi curioși să cunoaștem colegi din alte țări. Abia aștept.
Okay.
Nu m-am uitat cum s-a tradus.
Aproape perfect.
Frank? Ok?
Oui.
Oui?
Ok.
Parfait.
Avec plaisir.
The chickens seem perfume.
Yeah. The chicken sing is very strange.
Oh, thank you everybody for having a go.
Talking about diversity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even the caption.
And inclusion. We include
And
everybody.
inclusion.
Chickens, whatever.
So if I changed my speaking language to English,
yeah.
Now it translates Romanian what it should translate.
Oh,
nice.
Yes.
It works really well.
Are unele scăpări.
Well, perhaps we shall use this a bit more often. I always have it turned on for the sessions that we have, but I know some people use it, but if you don't need to use it, you don't need to tend to like play with something that you don't necessarily need to play with yet. But I thought it was a good opportunity to have a bit of a go.
That was a first for me, so another thing to learn.
Oh, it's good.
And also
that tip with the blue slider is really important now, Anna, so to make sure that blue thing is
and
shown.
also it's a great opportunity of learning for the machine and for us and noticing and trying, because since it's AI is going to improve us more as we use it, because they will learn. So
well done.
It's
You
a training.
contributed to global AI learning as well. Well done, team.
Yay!
The problem with AI learning is that AI has no idea here if it's right or if it's wrong.
Don't worry, we will give him feedback.
I was going to say the AI is going to learn a lot of mistakes and a lot of words that make no sense in any language at all, but that's all right.
Yeah, with all his Frank and his perfumed chickens.
Yeah. But this is a great opportunity to notice that learning, it's not always linear and perfect. Sometimes we have bumps in the road. Sometimes we need to stop and reflect. And then sometimes we can run after chickens and see what happens.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, on that note, I'm going to stop the recording.
Hey, thank you, Nicola.